Hello, and welcome to another session of Gather Round. Today is extra special because I have a special guest with us.
Hi there, everybody. This is Mrs. Garcia, one of the school counselors here at McDermott Elementary, and it's so good to see you. And thank you for joining Mr. Mata and I, especially because of what we're going to be reading. Mr. Mata, can you tell them what that is?
Yes, we have a special book for you called The Smallest Girl in the Smallest Grade. Now, boys and girls, just because she's small, in the story, you're going to read how she does a big thing. So it doesn't matter how small you are or how big, our actions and our words make big impacts. And you're going to learn about that in this story.
And exactly, since this month is Bully Prevention Month, and this week we were highlighting special days. And today, of course, you're a part of the McDermott family. So hopefully you're wearing your school shirt or school colors to show your support in stomping out bullying. We do not want bullies or bullying to be happening here at McDermott Elementary. So you need to do your part, and you'll see in the story how Molly does her part.
Now remember, boys and girls, even though this is the last day for the week, for Bully Free Week, this does not mean that this is over. This is something that we've got to constantly do every single day. Remember, our words and our actions do a lot, okay? Well, let's begin. The Smallest Girl in the Smallest Grade, written by Justin Roberts, illustrated by Christian Robinson. Hardly anyone noticed young Sally McCabe.
She was the smallest girl in the smallest grade.
Sure, her name could be heard in a daily roll call, and she marched with her books down the same school hall, but hardly anyone noticed young Sally McCabe. And they certainly didn't know, or at least didn't mention, that Sally was paying super extra special attention.
To the abandoned kite with the tangled string, to the 27 keys on the janitor's ring, to the leaves as they turn green to gold in the fall, and to the time Tommy Torino was tripped in the hall.
She watched as the wildflowers tipped toward the light and heard the howl of a hound dog late one night. She was there when the stray cats who normally fought conducted a meeting in the church parking lot.
She saw Kevin McCune get pushed off a slide and the oncoming tears that he wanted to hide.
Poor Kevin. And she'll never forget that parent-teacher day when Billy's much larger father suddenly dragged him away.
But through all the mean words and all the cold stares, no one even noticed that Sally was there. And they certainly didn't know, or at least didn't mention, that Sally was paying super extra special attention.
She'd seen how a whisper could make someone cower like a bulldozer crushing through fields of wild flowers. And it kept piling up, the discarded debris, those beautiful kites tangled in trees.
So on February 3rd at 11:29, Sally stepped straight out of the lunchroom line.
She said, "I'm tired of seeing this terrible stuff. Stop hurting each other. This is enough." Now a few laughed out loud or didn't care that there was some girl with her hand in the air. But then something super extra special happened that day as Howard O. Henry suddenly set down his tray.
Like waves rolling in, one after another. First Molly rose up, then Michael's twin brother. It was Tyrone and Terrence, then Amanda and Paul, who pushed out their chairs and stretched their arms tall. From the friendly lunch lady with the dishes she carted to that new third grade teacher who had only recently started. Yes, everyone there, even Principal Claire, had joined little Sally with their fingers in the air.
And though hound dogs were destined to howl at night, and most stray cat meetings would end up as fights, and kites would continue to get stuck in trees, they all felt for a moment like the janitor's keys. Fastened together with a heavy steel ring, they held all the secrets to unlock everything.
And as the world returned to the way that it was, Sally noticed the difference, as she usually does, when Billy paused briefly to open the door for Mrs. O'Connell and 17 more, or when Molly scooched over to make some space on the coral riser for Ellen and Grace. These moments that often get taken for granted, a wildflower appearing that no one had planted.
The swings soon resumed their rhythm and sway, and day turned to night and night turned to day. People remembered and would quite often mention that Sally had been paying super extra special attention, and how the world could transform and change could be made by the smallest girl in the smallest grade. The end.
The end.
We want to be just like Molly. What an amazing, big person.
Exactly, Mr. Mata. And remember, boys and girls, this book shows how one person made a big difference in her school, because she saw how people were treating each other. And she just said, that's it. That is enough. No more. So she took a stand herself to stomp out bullying in her school. Exactly, Mr. Mata. And of course, she talks about a special day. Can you want to talk about that, Mr. Mata?
Yes, so her special day when she decided to make that difference was February 3rd. And boys and girls, we don't have to wait till February 3rd to decide to make a stand. That was just her day. You're gonna get this feeling inside. You're gonna see something that's wrong. It's gonna give you this feeling that you're like, I need to do something about it. That's when you need to act. That's when you need to act. That's gonna be your day, okay?
Yes, exactly. And remember, it begins with you keeping your eyes on the lookout. When you see somebody doing something that is not right, like Mr. Mata says, if you get that feeling that this isn't right, speak up. You need to speak up, okay? And because it all is with respect, respecting each other every single day with our words and our actions. And when we do that, we all get along, and then we're all happy. We all feel good inside, and that's what we want. And even after Molly did her stand, that one thing she did, it changed how everybody treated each other. And that's what we want you to do also.
Yes, and remember, guys, our words and our actions do make impacts, all right? So what we want to remember to do is always show and share love and kindness. All right, guys, well, that's it. Until next time, adios.
Bye.